How's it going?
Great, how are you doing?
I'm good. How was that? I was telling you you had that COVID vaccination. How was that?
Um, First, it felt like nothing, and then the next day it really sucked. Like I was so sore at the PI that were doing PT on me,
Mhm.
and usually they really dig in,
Yeah.
and I'm like, I'm just squealing, and the therapist like, bro, I'm just petting you, like,
Oh no.
and
Do you have to get another one?
yeah, I do. I think in 2, 3 weeks, something like that.
Okay. Weren't you kind of nervous to get it before your fight, or is that why you got it?
I got it just because I had the opportunity. Like you could get like a shot at Walmart if somebody no shows their appointment. So
Oh,
instead
okay.
of throwing it away, you can get the shot. But yeah, I'm not too nervous. Like one day, one rough day, if it's not that close to the fight, so if it's 1 or 2 other days that I feel a little sick and sore, it's fine.
Okay. It was it not like I don't know, because a lot of fights obviously have been canceled because a fighter or their corner test positive. So did that play into your mind on whether you'd get it? Like if I have it, I make sure that I don't have it for the fight.
Um, yeah, yeah. Like I don't know. I think I'm immune. I think I had like 1,500 opportunities to get it and I didn't. So either I already had it or I'm just naturally immune.
It's
But
weird with
yeah, after my
sorry, go
fight, I
ahead.
want to. Sorry, after my fight, I really want to go home to Israel, and to enter, I gotta be vaccinated.
Oh, okay.
I think so. I was like, let's just do it.
Yeah, because I saw in your it was your post fight interview that you were talking about fighting again in March, so you can go back home, spend Passover with your family. But obviously, with your fight being in April, you'll miss it. And
Yeah.
do you usually miss it, or is it something that it has to be a real special occasion for you not to be there?
It's a big family tradition. So every year, I have family from Israel, from France. Everybody meets up. Like we're a lot of cousins, and yeah, usually it's every year. Last year I couldn't because of COVID, so I was like, I gotta make it this year. But UFC fight is a big deal, so I'm not gonna say
Yeah, yeah,
no.
of
Let's
course.
wait a few more months for the
Yeah.
holiday.
And you never know too. You can be ready for a fight one day and then you get an injury or something and you're off for, I don't know how long.
Exactly. Yeah.
And do you go regularly or only for Passover?
I used to go every few months,
Hmm.
but at some point, I'm wasting time every time I go to Israel. I do train, and I keep in shape, and I learn new things there too. But I was like, I want to be consistent, at least 1 year in Vegas. I even had this thought in my head, like I'm not going back to Israel until I'm signed with the UFC. And
Wow.
if yeah, I thought it was gonna be like 1 year, and eventually it's been 2 years. But it so happened that I'm not gonna go back to Israel, not signing the UFC.
You manifested
Yeah.
it. So, well, obviously you represent karate, right? I think, right? You represent karate in MMA, although you do have a whole lot of submission wins. A whole
Yeah.
lot. Was it like grappling? Because I saw you went to a lot of competitions. So do you think that contributed to it, or it's just people don't want to strike with you, and that was inevitable?
I think I do represent karate, like, but I think for me, karate it's more than like a fighting style, right? It's like
Hmm.
a way of life and a way to behave yourself and discipline and many other things. But I think I really strive to be like a full, complete martial artist. And when I was 20 years old, out bar.
Wait 1 second. This is cutting off horribly. I'll let you know when I get you back. You're still frozen. Oh, there we go.
Nice.
Sorry, if you don't mind repeating all of that again, that would
No
be
problem.
great.
So when I first got to Vegas, I started to learn boxing, and obviously even my karate wasn't enough to just stand, in an MMA fight.
Yeah.
So I learned boxing. I learned movement. I learned how to land my kicks better. And at some point, Gibbs told me, okay, you're going to go to Syndicate MMA, and you're going to do your MMA over there. I want you to really focus on grappling. Listen, you gotta really put yourself in jiu-jitsu classes all the time, and that's what I did. I would do like 5 sessions a day, and out of those, 2 or 3 were jiu-jitsu, like every day. And plus, training with Giff every day. I would ride my bicycle for 2 hours to get to the Red Rock, to the gym over there. Yeah, because I didn't have a car.
Bro, that happened to me when I was in Vegas doing my knee rehab, and I didn't, because if you're under 25, you have to pay this crazy ass fee in order to rent a car. And I was like, okay, I can't be paying it's something like $40 a day in additional to renting it. So I bought a bike and I started riding my bike to the PI, and then everybody would look at me so weird. And I remember, I don't know, it was one of the athletes there was like, only crackheads ride bike in Vegas. And I was like, all right then, all right. Oh my God, 2 hours to train with Giff?
Yeah, every day.
And you got to go back after training.
Yeah, but going up, it's uphill. So it's even harder.
Yeah.
By the time I get there,
that's true.
I can barely jump rope. Going back home, downhill was nicer.
And his sessions run pretty long. He just started to go in. How did you meet Giff? How did that come about?
Pure luck. I'm so lucky. Like a friend of a friend of a cousin of a friend of my brother, just crazy connection, and we got to meet. And I went to the Red Rock gym, and he told me, okay, get in your fight stance. And I was all like sideways karate. He told me to work on the heavy bag. It was kind of like a, first session test type deal. And where I was from, we were 30 students in one heavy bag. It means everybody goes on the heavy bag for 20, 30 seconds and you gotta go next, right?
Yeah.
So I start going crazy on the heavy bag, throwing a million spinning kicks and whatnot. And the time, it doesn't end. I thought at some point it was gonna tell me, okay, cool, stop. That's all I knew.
Yeah.
And then I noticed there's a timer and there's 4 minutes left and I'm gonna die.
4 minutes left and I'm gonna die. Okay.
So I just go from 100 to can barely throw a punch and survive the time. And then Giff starts talking to me while I'm puking in the trash.
Oh, shit.
And we did pads and blue shield and all kind of stuff that day. He killed me. And he said you're very rough, but there might be something under there, right? Diamond in the rough, maybe. Yeah. So let's give it a shot. And that's it. I got real lucky.
Yeah,
we've been
he actually
for 7
called
years.
The other day. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. He's amazing. I didn't personally know of Giff. Even during my time there, it was only when I came back that Dan took me over to the Bat Cave, and I was just like, how did I not know of him before? What? Just the knowledge that he would have, he would switch angles, he would and kind of like adapt to your style.
Hmm.
So I don't think you could have found somebody better.
Yeah, absolutely. Like you just said about adapting to the style, I think one of the biggest things for me, like working with GIF, is like even like he comes from a boxing background. He has, you know,
Hmm.
he, sometimes he asks me to show somebody how to do the kick properly or something. He's not gonna start telling you all the techniques for kicking because that's not his background, right?
Yeah.
But he taught me how to land those kicks, when to throw them,
Hmm.
how to set them up. And from there, like all of a sudden, instead of hitting elbows all the time with like crazy kicks, but they're not landing,
Yeah.
all of a sudden everything's landing. I know when to do what. And that's like a big addition to my game. So I always had the kicks, but now really knowing when to use them and how to use them.
But what do you think is the biggest change on when and how you use them? Is it a combination thing? Is it a timing thing?
I think a lot of it is like, creating openings, right?
Hmm.
Jabbing the face to lend the side kick to the body, not just
Hmm.
standing there, throw a side kick to the body when your opponent's elbows are covering his body, right?
Hmm.
Um, Knowing when to throw a kick defensively. Like let's say I throw a front kick,
Hmm.
um, somebody's coming at me and I throw a round kick, right?
Yes.
Maybe I hit him, but he's still coming at me. Nothing's really like creating a boundary between us.
Yeah.
That's when you throw a front kick, so he can't go forward, right? He can't go through the
Hmm.
kick. When I'm done kicking, am I just re-putting my leg where I was,
Hmm.
or do I slide back and create more distance so I can kick it again, even when he's going forward? Many things like that.
Yeah. Do you find incorporating knees helps with that? Because you kick so well, you think knees come naturally.
They didn't come naturally for me, but yeah, definitely nowadays, especially when people try to rush you so you don't have space to kick,
Hmm.
then you need them. Elbow,
Why do you
clinch, takedown.
why do you think they didn't come naturally to you?
I think because training karate, it's always such a long distance. People don't really look
Yeah.
to get like that close, right? We
Yeah.
always prefer like to kick. If we punch, it's usually to miss the punch to land the kick, right? It's more like kind of a feint. Um, so yeah, sometimes you throw a knee, but it's not like also especially like getting exposed to Muay Thai
Hmm.
fighters and coaches here in Vegas who taught me how to throw like a good knee, like with the hip solid and not just lifting your knee.
Yeah. Yeah. Have you seen, this is a totally random question, but not too much. Have you seen that karate combat going around on YouTube?
Yeah, I was offered a contract.
What? So what was the contract? Why didn't you take it? I assume you didn't take it.
It was a few years ago, and I just turned pro in MMA,
Mm-hmm.
and I actually really wanted to do it. Um, just like to compete, like we talked about, I competed in grappling, right? Because
Yeah,
I wanted
yeah, for
to
sure.
isolate like the grappling and be put in bad situations before I'm there in an MMA fight.
Mm-hmm.
Let's have somebody take my back in a jiu-jitsu tournament and see how I do getting out. If I
Yeah.
get choked out, we know what to work on, right? So that really was always like, for me, I went to plenty of jiu-jitsu tournaments. My goal was never to win a plastic medal, right? It was always like to expose my holes or choke people out. That's fun too.
Dude, it's way better at a competition than in an MMA fight. Tell
Yeah,
you for
yeah,
sure.
way more fun. And so really same thing. I wanted to compete like just striking, um, have to work my way around everything. And the only problem was they didn't want to let me do MMA. They had like a
Uh,
16 fight contract, no MMA, no UFC exit clause. So I had to pass.
Okay. So if they came up, because I don't know how the contract is with the UFC, because I know you can't do Muay Thai fights. Boxing
Mhm.
seems to be up for grabs.
Only if you're fighting Floyd.
Yeah. Yeah, boxing is kind of up for grabs there. Like I know they don't care about grappling, but I do agree with you, man. Like sometimes you want to practice that thing or like see your striking. You don't want to see striking in the middle of a fight, you know, like
Yeah,
where your holes are. And competing for me has always been the best thing. So hypothetically, let's say the UFC lets you compete in karate combat and they give you like a decent contract, you know, that they have no issues and stuff, would you still compete with them?
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Do you feel like there'll be any changes? Because obviously before you've evolved a lot from when you were doing karate.
Hmm.
I don't want to say evolved. It's just it's a different style, you know, different rules, different styles. It all changes. And now that you have changed, do you
I
think
like
that
calling
you
it evolved.
incorporate that? Huh?
I like calling it evolved.
Okay, evolved. You just don't
Yeah,
want
I
to piss
think
anybody off.
no, it's I think everybody needs to evolve, right? There's like
Yeah.
a saying, don't let your like don't let your style like
Hmm.
um restrict your karate, right?
Yep.
So, oh, I do this style, so I can't learn. Same thing with like all martial arts. Like for me, I think when I learn something and I ask, oh, why is the elbow down? And you tell me because a Japanese guy said 100 years ago. That's not a good answer for me. That's like a justification more than like a
Yeah.
real answer. And I think when I ask a question nowadays, oh, why do you want me to kick with the knee compared to like a kick with just a straight leg?
Hmm.
Let's see, let's kick the heavy bag. Let's see what's harder. Let's do it in sparring. Let's see what works. So that's evolving for me, like trial and
Yes.
error, figuring out what works. So same thing with my karate. I don't do things because just somebody said so. I do things because I
Hmm.
try and I see and I try to evolve. And I think I would show like in karate combat and in MMA, obviously, which is more realistic. It's what I'm doing right now, that I'm
Yes.
not just a karate guy, right? That's why sometimes I don't want to say like take offense, but when people say like you represent karate, it's like I told you, like, yeah, I represent the discipline and the way of
Hmm.
life, but I think I'm more than just the karate that people do that's so restricted. And
No,
if
no,
I
for
fight
sure.
in and if I fight in
It's
karate
great. I
combat, I'd like
started
to
the
put
whole thing offending you. That is
no, no, not at all,
fantastic.
not at all.
I didn't mean it that way. Just so you know, I didn't mean like you're the karate guy that does MMA because like I said, you have a whole bunch of submission wins. It's clear that you have a you know, that you have a complete style. But with traditional martial arts dying, it's beautiful to see like someone that comes from that you fight different, man. Like you fight different and karate has it gives you that I don't know, it's like a flair. It's a beautiful flair that is unique to yourself and that's what you represent. For me that's where I was kind of getting at.
No,
And
of course,
just
I'm not
because
taking it in the wrong way.
no, you already went around and you told me you got offended. No, just know that I don't think you just do karate, you know? It's I mean, you just have to watch yourself fight. It's obvious. But it's also beautiful for it to be represented because it's not all like bad or it's not all, you know, like stuck in the past. There's still so much that you can learn and greatness that you can bring towards to MMA, which like you've clearly done.
Thank you. Yeah. Again, no, like what I really mean is I think the karate like gives me a huge advantage when
Hmm.
me and my opponent both do boxing, both do Muay Thai, both do jiu-jitsu, but I'm the only one who does karate. right? So I think
True.
that gives me an advantage. And what I mean when I say like that I don't like is that people think maybe if they only do karate, then we're the same. But
Yeah.
no, because you need to keep an open mind and learn from everybody. The moment you think, oh, me, my style, I represent this, we're the best, this is where you crash.
Hey, I like that. I like that. Very true. Do you still do any anything like traditional type of training?
Um, I still do like karate every week in Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
It's not really the style I've grown up doing, but again, evolving and learning new things. And it's more like a point fighting style where you gotta
Mm-hmm.
hit and not get hit. My style, growing up, it was more like full contact, like let's kick each other's ass until someone drops. Um, Here it's more like calculated, more like fencing, really.
Yeah.
Which I like it a lot. I think it's good for MMA. I want to hit and not get hit. I don't want to just stand there and exchange. And for me, a big thing is like, again, karate mentality, self defense. I want to hit you and not get hit. Sometimes, yeah, I'll take one to give two or three, but
Mm-hmm.
I'd rather give you one or two and break, right?
Yeah, for sure. Do you do any of the, well, I'm just saying this because I really love this. I don't know if you've seen it. They have it sometimes at the PI. They put it up. They didn't put it up too many times for me because I think I almost broke it. So they started to hide it. But it's the, what do you call, like that light thing? You know, it like lights up and you have to touch it. You
On
know what
the
I'm talking
screen
about?
or just the light bulbs?
No, it's like, yeah, it's like these little light bulbs that you put everywhere.
I haven't used this yet. I did
No,
the screen plenty of times.
yeah, I think you'd be really good at like that thing. I just feel like if you get in like in a karate stance, you could kind of touch
Yeah,
it more. It
those
gives
things
you like
stress
a
me out
faster
too much.
reaction.
There's too much pressure.
Dude, they're lights. You fight in a cage. What are you talking about? There's too much pressure.
Somebody's looking and I gotta be fast. I'm like, whoa.
Do you know how many people look when you fight?
Yeah, but when people look when I fight, I'm like, it's I gotta put in an effort because a lot of people are watching.
Yeah. But like that single person watching you not touch the light, yeah, it's way
Yeah,
worse.
like they're judging me.
Yeah. To be honest, I'm like talking like, oh, that's crazy, but I agree. I do that too. I hate when like when they're at training and they tell you, what is it? So the next move is, and then I'm like, bro, why you put that pressure on me? I don't know. Like even if I
Yeah.
knew, I'm like, oh
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah.
I fucking hate that. Oh, I
Exactly.
said I wasn't gonna curse. Okay, moving on. Your fight coming up with Austin Hubbard. I hope I'm pronouncing his name right. Dude, he's had like quite a few fights.
Yeah,
Why do you think the UFC matched you up with, like, because you fought in the Contender Series, right? Like, why not match you up with somebody who's like starting with the UFC as well? Why do you think they gave you this matchup?
I think the UFC has big plans, hopes for me.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're not scared. I don't think they think they need to like hold my hand, right?
Yeah. And how do you see this fight playing out? Like, do you feel it's a good fight to showcase your skills?
I think it is. I think it's a tough fight. Definitely not an easy fight, but that's all fights in the UFC. If I wanted easy fights, I'd go fight somewhere else, and not gonna say where. And yeah, I like it. Like the moment they sent me his name, yes, just like let's go.
Yeah. And how have you seen this different from, well, because you had all your fights before, pro at least, were on LFA. So how
Mhm.
has it been different with the Contender Series, and just because it's still on Fight Pass, to be honest?
Yeah. Um, I don't think there's really a difference. Like a big thing for me is just it's another fight. Every fight's a
Mhm.
fight, and luckily, again, I never took any easy fights, neither in my amateur career or in my pro career. Um, Fighting in LFA, it's only like good guys, good fighters, no tomato
Yeah.
cans. Um, Everybody I fought either had similar number of fights or
Hmm.
more. So
Yep.
I'm used to fighting guys that are more experienced than me. I think every time I fight somebody who's a little bit more experienced, and then somebody who's got 5 fights more than me, then I fight somebody who's got 8 fights more than me. But it's like for me, it's as if I'm covering on like lost time,
Yeah.
right?
Makes sense.
Because I know I beat a guy that has like 15 fights, so I'm basically as if I have this experience of 15 fights. I stole his
absorb
experience.
you, absorb your soul.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay, this one is for me because I am somewhat jealous. I love spinning kicks. Spinning kicks for me are like my favorite thing ever because
I
I
know.
like to feel like a ninja. I just feel when I do them, I look really cool. So I keep trying to do them, even though my coaches tell me not to. At least not do them correctly at the right time. So I see that you do like but what are those called? Like 720s when you spin, but not yeah, 720 when you go like around twice in the air.
I don't think I can do that.
Yeah, you did. Like you've done it. Like you spin and you kick and you land with that foot. You know what I'm
Maybe like
talking about?
tornado kick. It's like
Yes.
a
But the
roundhouse.
mm-hmm. Yeah, but the one that you land, it's way harder to land on the foot that you're kicking.
I can't land on the foot that I'm kicking.
What? I've seen you do it.
No way.
Are you sure?
I'm sure.
Whatever, dude. It looks great. So what tips do you have for like for spinning kicks and to be able to, we don't see that a lot in MMA and it's great. So
Yeah.
what tips do you have to be able to do that better?
First of all, watching your fights, I'd like to get a private from you about spins.
No
Your
way.
spins are awesome.
Dude, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I just start. I'm like, this will look really cool in a video.
It does. And yeah, I think, you know, I think a big thing is like, me personally, I
Hmm.
wouldn't just throw like a flying triangle mid MMA fight if I've never learned it or drilled it, right?
Hmm.
And some people think like, oh, okay, I'm just gonna do a spin now. Like, did you learn it? Did you drill it? It cost Chris Weidman a title just
Yeah.
saying like, oh, let's throw a spin because you need to learn how to do it properly. So I'd say if you really want to do it,
Hmm.
find a taekwondo or karate teacher or
Hmm.
like American kickboxing with the pants. I don't know how they call it, and learn it.
Those pants are amazing.
Yeah, they're
I
nice.
wish I could
I
fight in
wish
those pants. Every kick looks way cooler. It
exactly. It's like with the
snaps.
gi. There's this the sound.
Yeah. Like that's why all the forms. I remember like because I used to do a lot. I love forms or katas and I did a lot of mostly taekwondo, but some karate as well, obviously. And man, there's just a difference when you have a good uniform and when you don't.
Yeah,
Because the sound that makes, you just like, I don't know if this is just me and I'm sounding like a complete dork, but like I would punch and if it would make like a crisp sound, oh, it would take
yeah.
everything
It's
in my
so
body to keep
satisfying.
a straight face. And I'd just be like, did you see that? That was pretty awesome.
Yeah, it's worth the extra dollars to get a good gi,
Yeah.
good sounding gi.
Yeah. They should that should be the next uniform.
Yeah,
Great
that's why I want to
kickboxing.
That's why I should fight in karate combat for the gi pants.
Exactly. Plus, if they have good sound, which they do, the graphics, they're so cool.
Yeah, they're pretty
Have you
cool.
seen the videos? Yeah, they're so cool.
Yeah,
So those graphics plus the correct pants for kicking. People don't understand that you need correct pants for kicking. That'd be pretty sick.
yeah,
Karate combat needs to,
yeah,
I'm doing them a favor here. You're welcome, guys.
yeah. It's funny though, like they're doing it no top, and then it just looks like MMA with pants. Kind of loses something.
Oh, you would have it with the full uniform.
I mean, I think it looks weird, like shirtless.
Well, I don't know. Maybe some people are
But
into the
yeah,
shirtless look.
yeah, that probably sells more tickets.
Yeah. Do you see they have like 2 million views per videos?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I guess.
maybe full uniform doesn't get you 2 million views.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, well, I'll leave you to it. You're probably tired and it's very early for me to be annoying you. So thank you so much. Best of
Thank
luck
you.
on your fight. And I hope to speak to you after or sometime in the near future.
Thank you. I had a blast. Thanks.
I'm glad you did. All right, bye-bye.
Bye. Thanks.